Just a little, just a little, just a little. My favorite part is gonna come, that's why. I love classic music. Greetings to all of you. Hassan Al-Badri with you, atheist, anti-theist, naturalist, etc, etc. This video is going to be in English. The videos after that is going to be in Arabic, just to let you know. By the way, the piece of music is Hungarian Rhapsody number 2, okay, by Franz Liszt. So just to let you know. I saw a video on on YouTube by the channel Love Allah 328, and the title of the video, Amazing Structure of the Atom, between two quote marks, Miracle of Quran. So let's take a listen without further ado.
ويريكم آياته.
What?
فأي آيات الله تنكرون.
Okay. Starting by
the water, the air, the mountains,
yes,
animals,
yes,
plants,
I know.
your body, and everything else, from the very tiny to the biggest things that you can see, touch, or feel, are made of atoms, the building block of the matter. The atoms are much small that cannot be seen through advanced microscopes. An atom is 1,000,000 times smaller than the thickest human hair. The diameter of an atom ranges from about 0.1 to 0.5 nanometers. Imagine you have a bunch of grapes in your hands. Of course, it's impossible for you to see the atoms made up these grapes. Now, if one of these grapes were about the size of the Earth, then the size of the atoms making this grape were equal to the size of a blueberry. Now, what do you think can be found inside such a small structure? Although it's much tiny, but there's a very complex system inside this amazing structure. Inside every atom, there's a nucleus at the center consisted of protons and neutrons, and there are electrons revolving around the nucleus at particular distances called orbits. The diameter of the nucleus is 10,000 times smaller than the size of an atom. For a better understanding, this time imagine the atom at the size of a soccer stadium. Then the nucleus would be about the size of a marble, and the rest would be empty space.
I wonder always why their apologetic videos, they always give you information that is discovered by science, by the scientific methodological way, okay, by natural philosophy of naturalism, and by the methodological naturalism. They give you information that is discovered by those ways that not their religion has discovered it, and they keep on mentioning those information. I mean, it's not like all this information which you're mentioning right now, it's discovered by your religion. Okay? So, electrons, neutrons, quarks, the structure of the atom, subatomic particles, quantum field theory, QFT, all those, your religion didn't come up with it. So be thankful to the modern physics that provided for you this information. And as usual, like they mention all this amazing data, amazing information, and afterwards they're gonna say, and God mentioned it in the Quran. I bet. I haven't seen the video, by the way. I'm watching the video live. I'm hearing it live with you. That's why I was surprised in the beginning with the Quranic verse. I thought, what the hell?
In fact, if you removed all the space inside all the atoms making up the stone, glass, and steel of the Empire State Building, you'd be left with a little lump about the size of a grain of rice, but weighing hundreds of millions of pounds. The rest is only empty space.
The most amazing part is that the nucleus occupies 99.5% of the mass of an atom. The density which made the mass of an atom is almost totally concentrated in its nucleus. And this density is produced by a power called nuclear power. Therefore, the electrons are affected by this power and cannot escape from their orbits. Moreover, particle physics research has revealed that even the protons and neutrons, which comprise the atoms, actually consist of subparticles known as quarks. The size of a quark is astonishing, 10 power minus 15 millimeter, or a quadrillionth of a millimeter. Till the end of 19th century, people used to believe that the matter consisted of minute, invisible, and indestructible particles known as atoms. However, advances in the study of atom have refuted this notion. At the present time, modern science has revealed that the atom, previously regarded as the smallest particle, can actually be split into smaller parts. This fact only emerged in the last century, but was revealed in Quran 14 centuries ago.
وقال الذين كفروا لا تأتينا الساعة قل بلى وربي لتأتين.
Hold on. I don't want to hear the Quranic verses, really. It bothers me. Honestly, it bothers me. So let's read what's written, the Quranic verses in Arabic. وقال الذين كفروا لا تأتينا الساعة قل بلى وربي لتأتينكم عالم الغيب ولا يعرب عنه مثقال ذرة في السماوات ولا في الأرض ولا أصغر من ذلك ولا أكبر إلا في كتاب مبين. Alright, so your point is?
مبين.
Yeah, your point is? Aha, they go to Google Translation and they translate dharra, which means atom. Okay, cool.
Or how fast the electrons are whizzing around in the atoms around you. A calculation shows that the electron is traveling about 2,200 kilometers per second. That's less than 1% of the speed of light, but it is fast enough to get you around the Earth in just over 18 seconds. In fact, this speed is unimaginable in an atomic scale, but still there is no chaos or instability in this tiny structure. For a moment, think of the universe. The entire universe is made of atoms with complex system. If there was a small change in the size of the atoms, in the speed of the electrons, in the mass of the nuclei, or in the distance between the nucleus and the electrons, then everything in the universe would explode. The atoms, the stars, the planets, your cup of tea, and everything else. That's why this astonishing structure needs a designer who put this different set of rules inside it. The rules which never can come into existence by coincidence.
Lo, we have created everything by measure.
Alright, that's the end of the video. So I took out 4 mistakes in your video. رابع العدوية. 4 mistakes. Alright? The first mistake that you say that the atom mostly contains empty space. That's wrong. Even if Brian Greene said it in his documentary that if we reduce the Empire State Building into only the nucleus, only the real matter, the rest is empty space. Here, physicists, we say empty space in a really opaque, vague way. Okay? Not in a direct, literal sense. That's empty space. There is no empty space in the atom. There is wave function. Everything is waves. Okay? There is no empty space. There is really fluctuations in the levels of the energy on the quantum field theory. All right, so it's not really empty space. There is some energy fluctuating everywhere. So that's why, and it's not portrayed as a real particle. That's why we say it's empty space. But it's not empty space in the literal sense. It's empty. There is fluctuations, quantum fluctuations everywhere. All right, so that's your first mistake. The second mistake, you said it's mentioned in the Quran, because the Quran said ذرة مثقال ذرة, that means it's the atom, right? Well, in that case, that means the friend of your prophet, Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, he was a scientist on himself, because he discovered the name Dharr. Dharr in Arabic means ant, or it means also a speck of dust, all right? If we take the Quran in its old Arabic language. And even though, let's come with your claim that your Quran mentioned the atom, all right? Well, remind me, is Democritus, the Greek philosopher, Democritus, is he before or after your prophet, who came with a theory of atom? Remind me, please, remind me, refresh my history memory. Is Democritus, is he before your prophet or after your prophet? Well, unfortunately for you, Democritus, who got the information from his teacher, I think your syllabus or something like that, your syllabus. Excuse me if I made a mistake with the teacher of Democritus. But Democritus came with a theory of atom. So in that sense, obviously Democritus is the real prophet. Obviously Zeus is the real God, not your God, Allah, who steals information from the Greeks. Hey guys, hey Muslims, you should worship Zeus, because obviously Zeus is the true God. He's the Alpha and Omega, and he came with the information of the atom. Miraculous claims. All right, so come on, really. I mean, and what else you said? You said, oh yeah, that's another scientific mistake. You said that the whole universe is made of atoms. Actually, only 4.8% of the universe is made of atoms. 4.8% is made of atoms. 95.2% of the universe is dark energy and dark matter. Those are not atoms, you freaking idiot. Okay? Literally less than 5% of the universe is atoms. The rest is not atoms. It's consisting of dark energy and dark matter. Those are not atoms, you freaking idiot. So when you claim that everything in the universe is made of atoms, well, give me the atom of dark energy. What is the atom of dark energy? What is the atom of dark matter? Give me those. Give me. I mean, obviously, you're a Nobel laureate, actually. You're a Nobel laureate with physics. Because obviously, you're going to come with atoms for dark energy and atoms for dark matter. Really. So, the whole video, you basically mentioned scientific information about the atom, which modern physics has discovered it. Okay, Niels Bohr, Rutherford, J.J. Thomson, all those discovered it. All those came with such revolutionary theories. And you claim it that your Quran mentioned, just because he mentioned dharra, which means atom, And even if he mentioned it, the Greeks beated you to it. Democritus mentioned atom before Islam. So you didn't come with anything new here, actually. And the other claim, the last claim, which is a wonder I have a wonder in my head, just wondering, just questioning, inquiry, okay? You say that that Muslims, yeah, it's mentioned in our book 1400 years ago. Well, refresh my memory. Who is the first Muslim who told Robert Rutherford, told him, hey, there is some part smaller than the atom. It's mentioned in our Quran. Which Muslim did that? Or were you stupid? Were you dumb? Were you reading your book and not understanding it? Obviously, we have two choices here, really. We have two choices. There is no third option here. Two options. The first option, that you wait for science to claim stuff as real, as a fact, and then you go find it in your book. Okay? And the second option is even worse. That means you are really stupid, idiots. You don't understand the words of your God. You're literally dumb, stupid. You don't understand the words of your God. Not only you, actually. Even the Prophet didn't understand the words of his God. The Sahaba didn't understand the words of your God. At-Tabi'een didn't understand the words of their God. At-Tabi'een al-Tabi'een didn't understand the words of your God. And millions of Muslims has read these words and didn't understand it. They got nothing. They are really dumb idiots reading the book without understanding the words of their God. Until modern physics in the 20th century comes, prove it as a fact, then you will get your words of your God. Wow. Wow. So you're waiting for modern physics to explain the words of your Quran. Really? I thought it was really a lisan Arabiyyun mubin, a clear Arabic tongue. But obviously it's not clear Arabic tongue. Because you're waiting for modern physics to prove, to explain the words of your God. You're waiting for modern physics to give you tafsir for the words of your God. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Do you have an atom of dignity inside your blood? Do you have an atom of self-respect? I guess not, really. I guess not. Move that aside. Let's take your claim as it's true. That God, the designer, the absolutely super duper potential wise, super duper potential smarty pants. Alright? Let's take your God, he's that. Alright? Your God actually make a huge physics error in his Quran. He created earth before the sun. Go fix this mistake first, and then claim other physics claims, miraculous claims in your Quran. Alright? Give me an explanation, and physics explanation. How can a planet form before the mother star? Your God mentioned in his Quran, Surah Fussilat, chapter I don't know, but verse 9 to verse 12 in Surah Fussilat. Alright? He mentioned clearly, he created the earth first, then he created the sun and the moon. That's impossible in physics. Freaking fucking impossible, alright? So give me a physics explanation. How can that be? How can that occur? Then come to me with the atom shit and with the other stuff. Plus, such God knows the atom, yet he makes a mathematical error with the inheritance issues. Your God, Allah, in the Quran, made literally a mathematical errors in the Quran. Literally mathematical errors that a 5th grade will not make it. Alright? 5th grade studying mathematics wouldn't make such errors. Yet your God made errors with math. About the inheritance. How to divide the inheritance to the people. So you Muslims, you discovered this mistake. What did you come up with? You didn't change the words of the Quran. No, of course not. How dare you? You are a mere slave submitting to Allah. You have no right to change the words of the Quran. So you came with a principle called al-awal. Okay? And the red. Al-red wal-awal. To correct the math mistakes in your God, in your God's words. Literally, a human being correcting their God's word in the Quran with the math stuff. Because they discovered, oh my goodness, Allah made a mistake in the Quran with the math. Let's fix it. And they came with a principle called the Awal al-Red. So you want to tell me that a God who is ignorant in math came up with the idea of quantum physics and quantum field theory and the subatomic particles and the atom? No, I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me with that. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, really. Absolutely not. I'm not buying it. Really. How can you tell me that a real God who is really high level physics, high level equations in his head, and ultimate super duper wisdom and super duper smart and super duper genius, okay, come up with the atoms and the subatomic particles and the quantum field theory, etc., makes a mistake with math. With a simple fractions math. Simple fractions, guys. Fractions. Kusur. Literally. Kusur. Riyadiyat al-Kusur. Fractions math, and he makes a mistake with it. Oh my goodness. Like really, like we brothers. Nigga please. Really, nigga please. Don't try to convince me with that. Nigga please. Really, come on man. Seriously, you're trying to convince me and you tell me that this is the designer of these laws of the quantum physics and the quantum field theory? Well, unfortunately for you, you have to read the standard model, okay, of the subatomic particles and the quantum field theory. Because the standard model actually explained how all these laws of subatomic particles, all right, how it came to be without the need of a designer. It came spontaneous. Not by coincidence, just like you mentioned, you lie. Nobody says in science coincidence, all right? It's just you believers mention this word, coincidence. Coincidence doesn't exist in science. Science explains action, reaction. It doesn't explain coincidence, then reaction. Okay? So stop that bullshit, all right? Stop it. Science explains action, reaction. Okay? Action, reaction. فعل, رد فعل. Not coincidence, then reaction. ليس صدفة, ثم رد فعل. All right? So stop this bullshit, please. All right? And standard model explains to you how these subatomic particles form, how these laws came to be, without the notion of your God. Without even a hint. You know the hint? You know, a faint hint? Without even a hint, a simple, mere, faint hint of a designer or a creator or a God who is controlling stuff. So, according to Occam's razor, if we imply Occam's razor on this matter, we explained everything perfectly without the notion of your God. Then we explained everything perfectly, then there is no need for an extra explanation and an extra notion who provide nothing to the explanations already is provided. Your God provides nothing. We explained everything in physics, and then you come, yeah, but my God made it. Yeah, okay. Let's take your notion as real. Your God made it. Did you give anything extra to the equations? Did you improve the equations? Did you improve the explanations that's already existing? No. You just forcefully coming and saying, yeah, but my God made it. That's what you are. You just broke. You have no evidence. You have no scientific base for your claim. You're just claiming it verbally. And we cannot take verbal stuff as true claims. I'm sorry. You have to provide evidence. And such an extraordinary claim as yours requires also an extraordinary evidence, which you don't have. You're broke. Well, that's all for this video, dear ladies and gents. The video after that is going to be in Arabic, so don't worry, alright? As usual, cheers, love and respect, and kisses to you.